Welcome everyone to our press conference for our Europa League game tomorrow against PAOK. Please identify whether your question is for Ruud or for André, and if you require translation. Let's start with Sky.
Ruud, first of all, looked nice to welcome Leny Yoro back to the group today, albeit I think it was 15 minutes, and then he did an individual session. So how are you managing his return to full fitness now?
He's been managed very well after his injury in pre-season. Obviously, it was going to be a long one, and it's a big moment for him. That first time he's back in team training, and obviously we're going to get him back partially over the coming weeks, and look to get him on board as quick as possible.
We also saw Marcus doing an individual session before joining in with the main group. What's the thinking behind that?
No, he did a bit of extra work before the session on his own, and he joined the group. There was no other special news on that one.
Seems to be a standing question at the moment as well. Have you had any contact with Ruben just yet, even if it's to offer congratulations as to what happened last night?
No, I didn't have contact so far. There's no changes in that.
Do you know when yet?
I don't know when yet either.
Can you tell us what would be the ideal scenario for you now?
I don't know. It's difficult to comment on that now. I'm waiting conversations to take place. And in the meantime, obviously, there's one thing that's the most important for this football club now is getting the work done on a daily basis. And in the game coming up tomorrow in Europe, it's a European night at Old Trafford. Against the Greek champions, second in the league, current. So I have to say that I feel the responsibility to do well over the next week, and that's my job. So please, don't. How do I say it? I'm focused on that, and the others. As I said, I welcome Ruben. Happy here to help him. And that's the situation for the moment.
Just wondering on the subject of injuries, Tyrell, Malacia, how he's progressing, and when we're likely to see Luke Shaw, Kobbie, Mainoo, and Harry Maguire again.
Well, different cases, all of them. Tyrell is the furthest in the moment. He's part of team training for a couple of weeks now, fully in team training, no restrictions. So it's good for him to plan game minutes, maybe in the under 21s. We have to see, and the others are still. Harry's still inside working on his rehab, and Luke also does pitch work like he did today, and he's progressing there to also do partial team trainings hopefully soon.
Erik often mentioned. Well, we often ask him about the injury issues that kind of derailed much of last season. And that he was looking into it, the club were looking into it. Was there ever a resolution to what the issue was with the muscle injuries and things that were being picked up?
Well, I think no. I don't know. I couldn't comment on that. For me, it's important, as I said, that I'm focusing on the players that are currently fit, and that's my job. Manage them as good as I can. Obviously, it wasn't an easy period over the last week. But I think the players reacted really well with the Leicester game and also in the Chelsea game, and we're looking to build on that. And that's why I'm so focused on today and tomorrow to do well for the short spell that I'm responsible for this football club, and I take that as a big responsibility.
Hi, there's a question for André. Obviously, you worked with Erik Ten Hag at Ajax. Why do you think it didn't work out at Man United, and how did you feel when you learned that he was leaving?
Well, when I heard he was leaving, obviously I feel bad. It's not always easy for players to understand when the manager is leaving. But at the end of the day, the club have to make a decision and we have to follow. Yes, I work with him. He's a good manager. I have a very good relationship with him. And why things didn't work here? We didn't win enough games, so it's so simple. And high level, it's not easy. Sometimes you have to pay the price. And fortunately, it was him. But we did everything. Players give everything. We work hard. We try our best, but it just didn't work.
Neil.
Ruud.
Could you start for the microphone?
guys hear me?
Thank you.
Okay. Ruud, we saw what Ruben did with Sporting Lisbon last night. Is there enough here for him to replicate that sort of thing at Manchester United? Enough here in the squad, do you believe?
Like I said just now, I'm so focused at the present here. To comment on that is for me is very difficult and hardly impossible because I'm really putting everything, all my energy in with the current squad, all the players. Like I said, all the injured players.
Talking about the strength of this current squad.
Yeah, no. So that's why to relate it to his playing style and all of that. That's for me is a question that I can't answer because I'm so focused on the players here and getting results going tomorrow and on Sunday in the Premiership, which are vital 2 games for the season. And I think I'm doing the new manager the best favor to do that. And later, like I said in all my interviews, I'm here to help the club and him. And I think that comes across, that came across and see when communication can start about the future.
Just on Manchester United in Europe, it always had such a rich heritage, as the former manager called it, but not so much in the last 10 years. Why do you think a club of this size has failed in Europe in the last 10 years?
Well, I think it's a big question for me to answer why it didn't work over the last 10 years. For me, it's important, and that's the reason why I arrived at the club, is to help the club and build to those years again where there were successful times in Europe. Obviously, there was the Europa League final, if I remember well, with Oli. There was the Europa League win with Mourinho. So was that in the last 10 years?
Yeah, it was.
So I think that's big European successes. So in that sense, it's always Manchester United is always there to compete in Europe, and that's what we want as well. And that starts again tomorrow.
Well, the focus that you've just been talking about, obviously these next 2 games are very important. But has it been quite hard for you to focus and for the players to focus? Because it's only human nature for the players to look beyond that and think, how I'm going to fit in under the new manager, what's the new team going to look like? Has it been quite a challenge for you to keep the focus on these next 2 games?
Well, I think last week before the Leicester game and before the Chelsea game, I think it was even harder because obviously things are changed quickly and massively. So to manage that was I think a bigger task. Now things sort of calm down, and we're focusing on the 2 performances where we were confident about and can build on. But again, it's about tomorrow that we play with the same passion and commitment, and then with the home support, and we can get to our best.
Yeah.
Question for Andre. Did you happen to watch the Sporting Lisbon game last night? And if you did, how do you think these players will suit the new manager, Rúben Amorim's style? And do you think they'll be able to adapt to that high intensity that he plays?
Can you repeat, please?
Did you watch the Sporting Lisbon game last night against Manchester City? And if you did, how do you think the current Manchester United players will adapt to his style? Obviously, it's different to what we've played so far this season, very high intensity.
Yeah, I did. I did watch a game yesterday. Great victory from there, by the way. Different system, but my players, my teammates, we are all pragmatic now. I think everyone here is capable to play in each system, so I don't think this will be any issue for us. We have big players, so they will step up.
And then quickly, can I just ask Ruud as well? Obviously, you were a brilliant striker for Manchester United. Sporting under the new manager Ruben Amorim have scored a lot of goals so far this season. Manchester United have struggled to create chances for the strikers, Rasmus Højlund and Joshua Zirkzee. Do you have any idea why that might be, why they're not getting as many chances as we'd expect?
I don't agree that we didn't create enough chances. I think if you look at the statistics, that we are one of the teams that's creating the most chances, and it's the conversion. That's why I said I'm not worried, because we're creating the chances. And with the talent we have, and they're still young, not only the 2 that you just mentioned, but the others as well, there's lots of potential. I think when results will keep coming, confidence will rise, and that's the key thing in scoring goals, confidence. And I think these guys will have it in and hopefully we can carry on in tomorrow's game.
Ty.
Hi, Ruud. In the Sporting game last night, their striker scored a hat-trick, and I think he scored 21 goals already this season. It seems obvious that Ruben likes us, gets the best out of strikers. You've mentioned, Rasmus there. He's 21, lots of big chances this season. What does he need to do to go to the next level? Because it's clear he's got a lot of potential. What does he need to do to elevate himself to the kind of level that Kobbie at Sporting is at? What would you say?
Stay calm and believe in himself, believe in his qualities, like I do, like his teammates do. He knows he's young, he's promising. It's a daily work he's putting in that will, in the end, will pay off, not only for him but also for his teammates, and confident in that.
We'll take one from Greek media over here.
Πώς αντιμετωπίζει το αυριανό παιχνίδι, γιατί προηγήθηκε ένα δύσκολο παιχνίδι με την Chelsea για την Manchester United και ακολουθεί ένα ακόμη με την Leicester. Πώς αντιμετωπίζουν το αυριανό παιχνίδι, είναι και για τους δύο η ερώτηση, και τι είναι αυτό το οποίο γνωρίζουν για τον αντίπαλό τους.
It's for both the question. Given that tomorrow's game has been sandwiched from a tough game last Sunday and a difficult game next weekend, how do you approach tomorrow's game? And what do you know about PAOK Salonika?
Asking me first?
Well, yeah, sure.
Okay. Like I commented before, it's a game of high priority for us tomorrow. So we don't look at the past game and the future game. We know that we need all our attention on PAOK. We analyze them very well. We know that they're the current champions of Greece, which is a big achievement, and also is current second, just 1 point behind Ares in this moment. Lots of talented players, experienced players, strong side. Will be supported tomorrow here with 4,000 fans travelling and supporting that team. So we are ready to face a very tough game. That's the approach for tomorrow.
Ruud says everything already.
We agree.
Easy, I make it easy for you.
Obviously, the focus will be on these 4 games, but as well as tactics, how important has it been to change the atmosphere? Has there been a change in atmosphere since Erik has left?
I don't know. It's difficult. Of course, it's a mixed emotions as well, because when he leaves, it's a very sad day, and the days after that, you have to recover as a team and as a staff, to go through that together. We tried everything together to make it work, and unfortunately it didn't happen. And of course we have to switch a mindset, and we did, and the players did, and you saw that against Leicester, and they also took responsibility that they had to improve as well. So I don't know. After the Chelsea game, we were slightly disappointed we didn't get the win, which was very positive signal to the performance, and I think emotions calmed down. Players are now focusing and training on getting their performances to the maximum, and for tomorrow's game as well. So that's basically what I can share about emotions, feelings at the moment in the squad.
Okay, last question, BBC.
Ruud, just one more on Rasmus. I think he only had 1 touch inside the box against Chelsea on Sunday. That led to the penalty. He's done a lot of his work with his back to goal in recent weeks. How do you get the best out of him? Do you want him playing that deep, or do you want him in the penalty area?
I mean, the most goals are scored in the penalty area, so that's where we want to get our players as much as we can. And but it depends on the games. There's been games where we arrived many times, created many chances, and unfortunately we couldn't convert them all. And that cost us a couple of results. But I think you have to deal with the circumstances. When it's needed to hold up to him to hold up play and get players into third man positions and play on from there. He does a brilliant job as well. And of course he's a guy that can change a game in a second, like the penalty moment. And you just need 1 or 2 in the box and can be in with him and the others as well. So that threat we always have.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.